The Cabinet of Tonga is the cabinet, executive branch, of the government of the Kingdom of Tonga. It is composed primarily of the ministers of government. The latter, including the Prime Minister, are appointed by the monarch. The Governor of Vava'u and the Governor of Vava'u also serve on the cabinet ex officio, when in session and presided over by the monarch. The cabinet is known as the Privy Council. Current cabinet. The current cabinet results from the November 2014 general election. Akilisi Poeva, leader of the Democratic Party of the Friendly Islands and long-standing leader of the movement campaigning for democracy in Tonga, was elected Prime Minister by the new parliament on 29 December. He was supported by 15 of the 17 people's representatives, all 10 MPs from his party, and 5 of the 7 independent members. Conversely, all 9 nobles representatives voted for his rival, Samiu Vaipulu. Poeva thus became the first commoner in Tonga to be elected Prime Minister by a predominantly elected parliament. He appointed the following government on 30 December, drawing from his majority in parliament. All of his ministers are people's representatives, with one exception. By law, the Ministry for Land must be entrusted to a noble, and Poeva thus invited incumbent Minister Lord Marafu to retain that position. Government on 30 December 2014. Past cabinets. Tuivakano Cabinet. This cabinet results from the November 2010 general election, the first enabling ordinary citizens to elect a majority of members of parliament, and the first also enabling Parliament to elect the Prime Minister, after being elected Prime Minister by Parliament. Lord Tuivakano appointed the following as his cabinet. His decision to appoint Drive, Anna Taufulungaki and Clive Edwards, who were not members of Parliament, was met with some controversy. But Tuivakano defended his choice on the grounds of their experience. It also meant that the Ministry for Women's Affairs would be headed by a woman, as all members of the legislature were men. Appointing a member of parliament to the position would have meant it being held by a man. The Democratic Party of the Friendly Islands, which had won 12 of the 17 seats allotted to people's representatives in the Assembly, requested 6 seats in cabinet, but was awarded only 2, generating some disagreements within the party itself. Senior party MPs Akilisi Poeva and Isaleli Pulu nevertheless accepted the proposed cabinet positions. Lord Tuivakano's first cabinet, announced at the beginning of January 2011, was thus the following. On 13 January, however, newly appointed Health Minister Akilisi Poeva, People's Representative for Tonga Tapu 1, resigned, in protest over his party having only 2 cabinet positions, and refusing to be bound by collective cabinet responsibility. He was replaced by Ulati Uata, DPFI, People's Representative for Harapai 13, on 25 January. On September 1, 2011, following a reshuffle which switched portfolios around without adding any new minister nor removing any, the cabinet was as follows. In mid-April 2012, another reshuffle was announced, to be effective from 1 May. Liziet Akolo, the Minister for Police, was to become Minister for Finance and National Planning. Sonia Philly, the Minister for Finance and Revenue, was to take over the police, prisons and fire services portfolio. Sosifo Vakata, Minister for Training, Employment, Youth and Sports, would become Minister for Revenue. Lord Vaea, in addition to retaining his agriculture, food, forests and fisheries portfolio, would take over Vakata's erstwhile ministry. The reshuffle was implemented on 1 May. In late June, 3 ministers, Isaleli Pulu, Labour, Sonia Philly, Police, and Ulati Uata, Health, resigned. so as to support a motion of no confidence tabled by their party, DPFI, against the government. On the 1st of July, Sangster Solala broke ranks with the DPFI to join the government, but resigned and rejoined the opposition the next day. On the 5th of July, Lord Tuiafitu was appointed Minister for Health. The other vacated portfolios remain vacant. Matangi Tonga pointed out that the selection is difficult because of the very few friendly members of parliament left to choose from, as the delayed motion of no confidence loomed. On the 13th of July, Solala joined the government once more, as Minister for Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries and Food. He argued that, although he was breaking ranks with his own party, it was the wish of his constituents. No further announcement was made until the 7th of January 2013, when Lord Tuivakano announced the following cabinet. On the 2nd of February 2013, there was another reshuffle. SIFA2 Utafaiva, DPFI MP for Tonga Tapu 6, was appointed Minister for Police, Prisons and Fire Services, and Minister for Revenue Services. His first ministerial appointments, Theoromo Aartavakata, until then Minister for Revenue Services, was shuffled to the position of Minister of Public Enterprises, replacing Clive Edwards, who retained his other position as Minister for Justice. On the 9th of January 2014, Finance Minister Liziet Akolo was sacked after publicly criticizing aspects of the budget. Asa Keek, independent MP for Tonga Tapu 5, was appointed in his place. Civil Cabinet. For the most part, the cabinet below results from a reshuffle in May 2009. But Taisina Fuko was subsequently appointed Minister for Revenue Services in October, and Sami Uvaipulu became Minister of Justice in November. John Cauchi became Attorney General in May 2009, but resigned in April 2010. Source: Tonga. CIA. Cabinet of Tonga. Information on the Tongan government website.